back to the Caribbean Financial Network News. I'm Claudette Delahaye, your host. Today we're back at the Genesis brand, and today we have none other than the incomparable Mr. Erwin Raphael, General Manager of Genesis and a son of Dominican soil. Mr. Raphael, pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Good to meet you.
Yes.
My pleasure.
Yes. Could you possibly tell us who is Erwin Raphael and where did you grow up and what school you went to?
Sure, I would love to. I am Erwin Raphael. I was born on the island of Dominica in 1966.
Where?
In Roseau, Dominica.
Oh.
And my family immigrated to the United States Virgin Islands when I was only 1 year old.
Okay.
So I called St. Croix my home,
Okay.
but I'm a Dominican at heart.
Oh, lovely. So, after emigrating, what was your education like into school? What schools did you have to go to? What college? And penultimately, what did you graduate in?
Sure. I did all of my primary school on St. Croix.
Any
Started
specific
out.
school?
Sure. I started out at Eulalia Rivera
Okay.
Elementary School,
All right.
and then went on to Charles H. Emmanuel School, transferred to the Good Hope School, and finally graduated from the St. Dunstan's Episcopal School on St. Croix.
Yeah.
Very proud graduate of St. Dunstan's.
Yes, and my sister, Mrs. Juliet Headed Miller, is proud Teacher of the Year for 2015.
Fantastic.
For St. Croix. So, what made you choose the automotive industry in terms of car design? Who were your mentors, and how did they mold you into this behemoth that is able to compete globally?
Behemoth is quite gracious. But I studied engineering and math. Those were my undergraduate degrees. I studied economics at graduate school.
Okay.
Graduated from Ohio State University.
Wow.
And went to work right away in a technical field with the Environmental Protection Agency. But I always loved cars. I loved working on cars. I loved tinkering with cars. I loved driving cars. And so it was natural for me to move into automotive.
Okay.
With Toyota. And then Chrysler, which is where I met Ralph Shield, by the way.
Okay.
I know you spoke with Ralph earlier today.
Yes.
Great guy. We spent some time working together.
Okay.
And I've been blessed to move over to California with Hyundai, and now launching the Genesis brand. So this is very exciting for us.
So what you're really saying is that Genesis is now separate in itself from Hyundai?
Yes.
Hyundai?
We've created
Wow.
an entirely separate division, much like Lexus is a
Yes.
separate division from Toyota, or Infiniti is from Honda. Now Genesis is its own division, and we're very
Wow.
excited about that.
Wow. So moving into the order of doing business, the Caribbean is still getting its act together in terms of being globally competitive, having the mindset, productivity, and they're still trying to balance their trade deficits with the currency versus imports and exports. Can you tell me what are the quintessential secrets or vital ingredients to become globally competitive in this particular world as it stands today, given that the region of the Caribbean is a smaller economy within the cogwheel of a bigger economy called the United States?
So that's obviously a very broad question. One of the things that I like coming from the Caribbean is we have essentially all of the accoutrements that are necessary to do great things. We have great people.
Yes.
We have hardworking
Yes.
people. We have a fantastic educational system.
Absolutely.
And if we could just take advantage of those things, that's what I would say to young people in the Caribbean, is if we could take advantage of those great systems and the great family spirit that we have, that's really the foundation. After that, it's hard work, dedication, deferred gratification. A lot of times we'd like to enjoy the fruits of our labor right away,
Yes.
but sometimes you have to work really hard and set some aside for tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
And that helps prepare.
Right.
And also great mentors. I grew up, my mentors were all from the Caribbean, people like Eldon Providence, who was a great entrepreneur back home, and kept me focused on reaching for the highest star.
Wow.
When I came to America, running into people like Ralph Gilles, we had an amazing working relationship. And of course, having the Caribbean background also
Right.
was fantastic. One of my longest serving mentors, Francis Price, is a Jamaican independent businessman, and he's mentored me for the last 25 years.
Wow.
So we have really strong, good people in the Caribbean, and that puts us in a position where we don't have to feel like there's anything that we can't do if we put our mind to it and if we work hard.
Yes, and especially the opportunity, the key word opportunity, it is there. So I did have a few questions to field with you. We already know that Genesis is not distributed in the Caribbean, but if you had to pick one of your own babies,
Yes.
which one would you pick in this illustrious selection here?
Uh-huh.
And what island would you drive the vehicle?
Well, I love the G80 Sport. That's the red car over there. It's
Okay.
absolutely amazing. It's very dynamic. It's the right size, so you feel really good and in control. And my favorite island to drive that car on would be Martinique. I love Martinique. They have
Wow.
fantastic highways and great country roads and great seaside driving. That's my personal favorite. But I think throughout the Caribbean, people can enjoy great cars.
And where have you seen the industry shift? How's it shifted in terms of the technology for road safety, and in terms of the consumer, if they were to purchase your vehicles and take them back home to the Caribbean, where has the industry shifted in the
Yes.
last 2 years?
I would say there are really two areas. The first area that the industry has shifted is in safety, advanced passive safety. So these cars, for example, have automatic electronic braking.
Yes.
So if you take your eye off of the road and there's a car, an object ahead of you, it'll stop itself to avoid an accident. Or if
Okay.
you veer off of the road, it'll sense that you're veering off and steer you back onto the road. Or if there's a car in your blind spot and you try to change lanes, it'll not only let you know but turn you back in. So I think safety, and that's important for everybody, including the Caribbean.
Yes, and given the fatalities, especially in Jamaica, where there have been 373 fatalities, 50% of them being the 18 to 34 age group in males that were breadwinners, and now children thrown into abject poverty. So your contribution in road safety is going to be vital.
Yes. Of course, nothing will ever take the place of the individuals being responsible,
Right.
making responsible decisions, not to drive
Yes.
while drinking,
Yes.
and so on. The other area of technology is connectivity, so that you don't get distracted while you drive.
Right.
And so we have all of these cars come with a full Genesis Connected Services, which allows you to not only connect with your car and your car back to the system, but you can do things from your phone, like start your car, lock your car. If your car is stolen, it can be retrieved. The information automatically goes to police. Turn your air condition on, so you know how hot it is sometimes. We can turn the AC on even before you get into your car.
And on a more personal level, philanthropically, whether it be through the endeavors of Genesis or your own personal efforts, what are the plans for the youth, if you have any, in terms of giving back to the community?
Sure.
Given that by 2017, 50% of the youth in the Caribbean, particularly Jamaica and Barbados, are going to be unemployed. Because remember now, teenagers are the biggest perpetrators of crime or the victims of crime. Would you have any recommendations in that area in terms of giving back?
At Genesis, we have formed our own social responsibility organization.
Okay.
We call it Citizen Genesis, and we only operate, as I mentioned, here in the United States, and so all of our efforts is focused here in the United States. We are a design-based, design-focused brand, and design, as you can imagine, involves the arts. And
Okay.
there's so many people, in particular underprivileged people who have amazing skills in the arts, in drawing, and design, and sometimes those things need to be fostered. So we have formed Citizen Genesis to help identify individuals and primarily in the underprivileged communities who have great skill, and we want to help them bring their skill and bring their art in whatever form it may be, visual arts, performing arts, to the surface so they can be discovered, and we can form another way to get these people to realize their dreams.
And finally, going off into the future, do you have an overall blueprint for the next 2 to 5 years where Genesis will be going with its technology and also its basic footprint in the industry?
Sure. Well, you can see we have two models, the G80 and the G90 here.
Okay.
Next year we will launch a third one, the G70,
Okay.
which is a smaller car, which will be even better suited for the Caribbean, by the way.
Okay.
We have two SUVs coming soon after that, as well as a sports car. So we'll have a full complement of vehicles. In addition to that, the technology we're continuing to push, safety, to be the safest brand, to have great reliability, and to have a great experience where our customers and our owners don't have to worry about their cars. We actually come to their homes, pick up their car, give them a loaner so we can service their car for them. So we're really trying to make it as much of a worry-free brand as possible.
Right. Well, I'm humble and I'm proud that Ralph Gilles is not the only one out there as our but he's our most dominant automotive executive of Caribbean heritage. I found another gem at the auto show. God bless you.
Thank you so
your
much.
endeavors, and I look forward to your progress and maybe becoming head global of Genesis one day.
Well, we'll see how that goes.
Well,
but
yes.
I'm very happy to be where I am. I'm happy to be where Genesis is. I'm happy to have met you, and I'm happy to say hello to my friends in the Caribbean.
Well, this is Claudette Delahaye saying a gracious thank you to this wonderful son of Dominican soil and resident of St. Croix. This is Claudette Delahaye signing off for Caribbean Financial Network News. Hope you've enjoyed our stories that we've had to show you. Give us your comments on the editing page and any other thoughts. In the meantime, we wish you a wonderful, happy and prosperous new year. God bless you all, and God bless these United States. Thank you.